Welcome back, students of Standard 10th. We were discussing the hack driver. So far, in the summary part, we have known about a narrator who was a junior assistant clerk at a law firm and was not at all happy with his job because he was not given any real case. He was a proper advocate, but he was not given any real case to handle thus far. So that made him an unhappy man. Now, the prospect of going to New Mullion seemed lucrative to him. He had images of countryside and the beauty that lies there, but was disappointed once he reached New Mullion because it was a muddy place with all the shops colored in at wearing the same color, and plus he had to serve a summon to Oliver Lutkins, who was a known notorious person. And besides, his past experience of serving summons were not good because he at times were sent to serve summons to goons and had ended up getting beaten up by them. So this time he was expecting something good, going to the countryside, meeting innocent people. Now he met a delivery man who was standing outside. He was about 40, looked cheerful and friendly. So here's when the narrator made his first mistake. He went away straight to him and sought help in seeking Oliver Lutkins without trying to find out who the man actually was. And he himself was dressed properly, sort of an advocate wear, a high firm worker wear. And what did that result in? The delivery man standing there immediately recognized this man must be from city and he has no business, no particular business in this village other than serving summons. So let's move on to the third paragraph. So now search for the Lutkin, third point rather, sorry. Search for Lutkin begins. That's what happens. Bill promised and he had an hack and he jumped over. Our author narrator jumped over that. The narrator found the man to be open and friendly. He had genuine kindness. He agreed to pay him $2 per hour. The man with the hack told that he had to take money from Lutkins. He told the narrator about one thing. If he went to Lutkins to get money in fancy clothes, Lutkins would be suspicious and go away. So he offered to go to Fritz. He would ask for him on his behalf. The narrator could keep himself out of sight. Now, you see, the point is, he himself told the author indirectly how witty this person is, that you have made the mistake of visiting a village in fancy clothes. Anybody you were seeking for would be suspicious of your appearance and run away. Right? So what plan did he suggest? He suggested that he would go to Fritz shop, look for Lutkins and bring him to the narrator, while narrator could keep himself out of sight. And narrator, because he had shown genuine kindness and concern, narrator automatically believed him. And this is the second mistake he made. Staying outside while some unknown person going to look for a person. Believing people blindly is the mistake he made. Now, he told more about himself, so let's find out more about delivery man. The narrator felt happy that the man was so helpful for him. He would get Lutkins with his help. The man told the narrator that the folks there called him Bill or Magnuson. His business was William Magnuson Fancy Carting and Hacking. Bill told the narrator that Lutkins played a lot of poker. He was good at deceiving people. He told something more about Lutkins. So now we know what introduction about him. He said he runs a carting and hacking company. Right? He gives transport to people as well as he carries their luggages and furniture. Carting is done for that, to carry goods. Right, and he gave a fancy name to him. He called himself William Magnuson. And affectionately people refer to him as either Bill or Magnuson. You know, William, short form of William is Bill, that you must be knowing. If you remember the story of William Bryson, Bill Bryson, William Bryson, B. Bryson, W. Bryson, that was the confusion and he never got his air miles. Right. So this part I don't have to explain. So let's go. What happens at Fred's? Both of them went into Fred's. Bill asked Fritz if he had seen Lutkins. Fritz looked at the narrator, hiding behind Bill. He replied that Lutkins had been there a little while ago. He perhaps had gone to Gustav's for a shave. Right. Now, narrator kept making mistakes. He trusted and they went to the Fritz shop. Fritz and he saw Bill, Oliver himself standing in front of him and asking had they had seen Lutkins. And obviously he paid more attention, and when he paid more attention he noticed that there is a man hiding behind it. So he replied that, okay, he was here just a moment ago. He must have gone for a shave to a barber named Gustav. They drove to Gustav's barber shop. Bill went inside and inquired about Lutkins. He was told that they had seen Lutkins walking down the main street. Bill told the narrator that Luskin had spent his credit at Gustav. He had perhaps gone to Gray's for a shave. At Gray's shop, they missed Lutkins by only 5 minutes. He might have gone for the pool room. Then he went out. They followed him till it was 1 o'clock. It was time to eat something, but they could not meet him. Do you notice one common thing that we can notice easily while the author didn't, because of his blind trust on the man he thought was Bill? Every shop he went, every place they went, and even to the pool room they visited, they seem to be missing Oliver Lutkins by just the difference of 5 minutes. How can this be common at every place, right? This should raise doubt in one's mind. But our author, you see, he was an inexperienced fresh graduate, so he didn't have much idea about how people are deceived. And it was lunchtime, and they still weren't able to meet Lutkins. So they decided they had lunch at Wade's Inn. The narrator offered to take Bill to a restaurant, but Bill wanted to go home to his wife. He told him that his wife would pack a lunch for $50. Then they would go to Wade's Inn. They would enjoy seeing while eating. The narrator paid him for 6 hours. He charged the whole money to the firm. You see, what happens here is they want to go to a restaurant, but Bill actually demotivated him by telling that those food are very oily and unhealthy. So besides, I have to go to my home, to my wife, to have my lunch. So it would be difficult for me to take you to the restaurant. So he offered that, why don't you let my wife pack a lunch for you for $50? And then we could go to Wade's Inn, enjoy the scenic view, and have our lunch over there. A narrator paid him for 6 hours, but he knew, what difference does it make? I will charge in on my law firm. Then Bill tells more about himself. As they sat at the hill, Bill talked of New Mullion. He described almost everything from minister's wife to the boys. Bill had travelled a lot of the country. He had many jobs also. Then the search was resumed. Bill and the narrator resumed their journey to find out Lutkins. Bill told the narrator that he knew Lutkins' mother. She was a terror. Once he went to her, but she took his skin off. She was about 9 feet tall and 4 feet thick, and as quick as a cat. They went to her. Bill told her who they were. Bill told Lutkins' mother why the narrator had come to meet Lutkins. He also told her that the narrator had a legal right to search the place of Lutkins. Now let's talk about Lutkins' mother. Hearing this, the woman went into the kitchen. She came out with an iron rod of an old stove. She shouted and laughed at them. Bill told the narrator to get out of there. The woman would murder them. They, however, searched the house fully, but Lutkins was not there. How did they search the house? By peeping through the boundary walls, and trying to see if anyone was there inside the house. It was nearly time to catch the afternoon train. Bill drove the narrator to the station. The narrator considered returning to New Mullion to practice law. He was charmed by everything that he saw and met there. He picturized an honest and happy life there beyond the universities and law firms. He had discovered a new way of life. But everybody in the office were upset next morning. The case was coming up in the court and they had to have Lutkins. The narrator was shameful at not serving summons on Lutkins. The chief almost murdered the narrator for his failure. He was ordered back to New Mullion. This time a man who had worked with Lutkins went with him. He was able to recognize Lutkins. Now the reality was finally discovered. The train arrived at New Mullion. The narrator saw Bill on the platform near his cart. The old tigress, Lutkins' mother, was also there. She was talking and laughing with Bill. She was not quarreling. The narrator pointed to Bill. He said that he had spent the whole day with the fine fellow. The man asked him that if the man had helped him find Lutkins. The narrator replied that he had. The man told him that the man himself was Lutkins. Now, finally we reached the end. The narrator served summons on Lutkins. Lutkins and his mother laughed at him as if he were a boy of 7. They begged him to have a cup of coffee in the neighbor's house. Because why? Because the neighbor was out of town the day our narrator had visited New Mullion. So he also wanted. Other than that, the entire village knew he was befooled. So this is the end of the summary. Thank you and stay safe. Don't go out and study hard for the boards. Goodbye.